What's up, traders? Sandra O'Connell here with Pristine Capital, coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is December 20th, 2021. Please go ahead, do me a huge favor, click the like button on this video. Also subscribe to my channel if you're enjoying this content. Today we're going to talk about another crazy day in the markets. We had basically every single asset market getting sparked, but it was not all bad. So we'll talk about price action. We'll talk about some of my trading for the day. Before we get into all that, quick risk disclaimer: nothing in this video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan and your own risk parameters. And last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account into any one of my trades. This is another late night edition because I did go to the gym right after the market closed. And after this video, I'm going to make myself some delicious tacos. Let's dive in. All right, box scores for today. S&P 500 finished down 1.06%. The NASDAQ QQQ finished down 1.1%. IWM small caps finished down 1.4%. And we have the Dow Jones down 1.23%. Volatility was bid in all of these indices. But when we go to the VIX and the VVIX very shortly, you will see that the VIX actually closed out on the lows for all these indices, which is a good thing. And then breadth was just terrible. This opened up with just absolutely horrible breadth, single digits for all of these indices. And granted, it did get better throughout the session, but this is still, it was a pretty lackluster expansion of breadth. And, what catalyzed this, we had, so over the weekend, I guess just more like fear over COVID. We had basically an emerging market blow up, which has been occurring in Turkey, where their currency is going into the tubes. Their stock market's going down the tubes. It's really a bad situation. So we have that going on in the background. Who knows if that's impacting things? And then we had the Build Back Better bill, which was going to be like a $1.7 trillion stimulus, which ended up getting the kibosh by Senator Manchin. And yeah, so I guess, when you have almost $2 trillion of stimulus coming into the market, everyone was expecting it. Not coming into the market, coming into the economy, everyone was expecting it. That causes some players to have to readjust themselves. And yeah, we were coming off of a very volatile couple of weeks anyway. We had quad witching on Friday. I must say, I was not expecting this puke. This is kind of crazy today. So take a look at this heat map. We can see that all of our FANG stocks really got hit, although Google basically fought back to break even. So some nice relative strength for Google. We had Oracle down over 5%, Tesla down 3.5%. We had Nike down. That one reported earnings after the bell and actually moved higher after they reported. You can see all these financial stocks got killed. Let's take a look at our sectors. You can see utilities were slightly positive, consumer staples, and biotech. So pretty random assortment there. I mean, the staples and the utilities, those are safe havens, but biotech, for whatever reason, is just getting bid into your end. So yeah, kind of interesting. Worst performer, and now in our worst momentum slot, is solar stocks, down 6.68%. I stopped out of my end phase last week because the solar stocks were really going to benefit from the Build Back Better. And then yeah, just weakness across the board. You can see the ARK funds were down, the social ETF, cannabis stocks were down as well. Pretty much everything that is risk on was down. So yeah, pretty broad-based sell-off across the board. Style factors. We had best performers were high div, low vol, and you can see min vol also best performer. So that's very risk off. And then worst performers, we had momentum down big, we had high beta down. And we had cyclical. So all the risk on areas of the market, really got hit. So across the board, which is not what we want to see. For seasonality, I need to update this slide, but we are in, the very end of year, which should be a pretty bullish sequence in the market. But, we're not really seeing that as of yet. Let's take a look a little bit at the price action for the indices, then we'll go into some of these individual names. S&P 500. So we've been talking about these three levels: 4,700, 4,600, and 4,500. And we failed at 4,700, went down, tagged 4,600 on Friday, and I thought we were going to start moving towards 4,700. We ended up just plunging, you know, overnight pretty much. Really violent move. We made it all the way down to this 41.21.5 level, and we found support there, so we couldn't get all the way down to 4,500. Now overnight, we are seeing some strength in the futures. They are up 0.37% as of this video. This is as of 7:18 p.m. So good to see some overnight strength. And it was also good to see that the market did not close on the lows. One of the things that was very strange was that one thing I was looking for is, hey, we're going to open up very weak. You know, that leaves room. It's very tough to short in the hole. That leaves room for some buyers to step in. Maybe we run throughout the session. But that really did not happen. At one point, we were down like 1.85%, almost 1.9%, getting close to 2% down. We pretty much were just kind of bouncing around all day, up and down, up and down, up and down. But then in the final hour of trading, we finally got a move higher. Take a look at this hourly chart. And you can see, yeah, this was right here. Yeah, right here, we started to get some traction at the very end of the day. And then after hours, you know, the market has been pretty bullish so far. Let's take a look at our NASDAQ. NASDAQ got hit pretty hard today. But you can see the NASDAQ, you know, we're now below the 50-day moving average, which is not good. But, you know, we put in, you know, not the worst candle. So we closed well off the lows, and we are up 0.58% in the after hours. Russell 2000 also trading up in the after hours. And this thing, every day looks like it wants to just slip into the abyss. But buyers keep supporting it and pretty much preventing it from breaking down. And then we have our Dow Jones finished down as well, tagged the 200-day moving average and bounced off of it. Again, closed well off the lows. And then we're up slightly, up 0.34% in the after hours. Let's take a look at some of these relative strength names. Google. Yeah, nice green candle for Google. We also put in a green candle for Apple as well. Take a look at this. So we found some support at the 20-day moving average, which is good. Names like Tesla. Tesla's a weak link. Yeah, this thing, could it get down to 800? Certainly could. So yeah, Tesla, to me at this point, is basically like sell on all bounces. And one thing I noticed, you know, it wasn't all bad. We did have some growth stocks that actually did pretty well. So Global E, this one closed down 1%, but put in a green candle. But I was seeing stocks that were, you know, faring okay. Unity green, Unity slightly red, Expedia, the travel stock. So everyone was worried about Omicron, but market participants really were not, because what we're finding is Omicron spreads very rapidly, but it's not really leading to more deaths. So this is actually a very good thing for the travel sector. And Expedia found some bids, closed up 1.96%. Let's take a look at Airbnb. Airbnb closed down slightly. What's interesting is that Airbnb kind of trades with those travel stocks, but it trades also in line with growth stocks. So when growth stocks really struggle, Airbnb sometimes will struggle. And, you know, those two kinds of like characteristics of like, it's a travel name, it's also a growth stock. They're kind of like a push and pull. But even Airbnb put in a nice green candle. So I think it's worth it to watch these travel stocks in the coming days. And Booking traded down 0.08%. Pretty good performance out of Booking. Let's take a look. We will check out some of my trades for today. And then we will also take a look at our options order flow. Oh, shoot. Okay, so yeah, for my trades, really all I did today was I did day trade the S&P 500. So when the market was down maybe 1.65%, I got into these December 22nd 454 calls for 315. And I just put playing for an end of day rally as traders close out their 0 DTE puts. I did notice that early on in this session that a lot of traders, or a lot of investors, they were getting hedged with all these 0 DTE puts. And typically when that happens, everyone throws those on, you can get an end of day rally. We didn't get it as hard as I thought we might, but we did end up getting the end of day rally. So I bought those for $3.15, ended up selling them for $3.37. So a very small, little scalp winner. And then I did have two runners that expired worthless. So for this SPY, December 20th, 464 calls, I'd taken two targets higher. I left a runner on, and that runner expired worthless due to this, market weakness. And then same thing with QQQ. I'd taken two targets higher, the last piece I left on, and that also expired off the books. The good thing about, in this market environment, I'm trying to trade smaller. So like you'll notice a lot of these are just like 1-star trades. And if I can get a couple targets in, I'm leaving on the final piece. So the final piece, that can just, I can let it ride. But yeah, these two let it ride. They didn't exactly work out. And that just speaks to, how weak this environment is, to be honest, or how weak it has been. If you look at the weekly chart, what's very interesting is that we are trading now in a pretty big balance area. Look at this. So over the past couple of weeks, it's just been between 4,700, all the way down here to, about 4,493. Bounced up, pretty epic bounce for 1 week. And then over the last 2 weeks, still very early in this week, but yeah, we're just kind of balancing here. So we'll have to see, if this resolves to the upside or the downside. But I think at this point, what's good is a lot of fear is being priced into the market. A lot of bad outcomes are being priced into the market. One thing I do want to note before we go to options order flow, Bitcoin and Ethereum are actually trading positive right now. Typically, Bitcoin and Ethereum, if the market's down, stocks are down, these guys should be down big time, but they're actually positive, which is good. You can see, like Ethereum, for instance, put in a nice hammer candle. It's been putting in a bunch of hammer candles. It looks like Ethereum is really being accumulated. What I love is Ethereum was never really able to break down meaningfully. Whereas Bitcoin, this is like, did have a pretty big breakdown. So yeah, could this be a nice leading indicator for the stock market? If Bitcoin and Ethereum bounce here, that could be pretty good. All right, let's take a look at our VigTech options order flow. Go to our options race first. Today's combined flows. Let's check out what we got for Tesla. Tesla. Let's see. AVGO. This was a good performer throughout the day. STX. That one never really pops up. Some interesting stuff today. Wow, so AVGO is our flow leader. Jeez. This one finally overtook Tesla. Let's take a look at AVGO. AVGO, wow, that's a nice candle. That's a great candle. This price action just looks awesome after this nice power earnings gap right here. So yeah, it looks pretty good. We closed right a smidge above the prior high from the peg day. So this one's still actionable here. So I actually like this going into tomorrow. I'll definitely keep a watch on this. Let's see STX. Seagate, yeah, and Seagate is shaping up pretty nicely as well in a very volatile market. So yeah, it finished up 0.59%. And let's take a look here. Let's go to our TradeScape. Okay, yeah, let's see those AVGO options. These are January 520s. What is AVGO at right now? 645, so it's pretty deep in the money. January 500s, January. A lot of flow for January. So looks like, some short-term swings going on. Very interesting. Apple, nice bullish flow coming in. We already looked at the Apple chart, put in a nice green candle. SPX, mix of calls and puts. STX, let's see what came in for that one. January flow, January. Yes, players going out to January for that one. AMD, mixed bag. Let's see what AMD did today. Not bad. Put in a doji candle. It was down 1.42%, but it's not like it got really sold down. Alibaba, a bunch of puts going up. Alibaba, along with a lot of these Chinese equities, is really struggling here. And yeah, let's see Google. Google almost finished positive. We got some December 2023, or December 23rd, excuse me. January 2022. Very interesting. I'm not really, I think the commonality I'm seeing here though is there's nothing really speculative. Pretty much everything I'm seeing is like deep in the money. Nothing too like far out on the risk curve. TQQQ, this is kind of far out on the risk curve. This is the triple leveraged NASDAQ ETF, and we're seeing some calls going up. Yeah, I don't see anything too out of the ordinary. So yeah, heading into tomorrow, we're in this big balance range. And yeah, I think today was, way more bearish than I expected. At this point though, we are seeing some pretty significant fear. Let's see if we closed out. Yeah, we are now at extreme fear in the market. So yeah, we have the Christmas holiday on the 24th. I believe there's a half day of trading. I am not going to be trading on the 24th. That is such a mug's game. Trading on December 24th, that is like if you're just like a degenerate and like you need to get your licks in. If you're a swing trader, there's nothing to swing on Christmas Eve. Maybe for a day trader you can get something, but yeah, I've done it many times before, and every time I do it, I'm like, why did I do that? So yeah, not gonna be trading on Christmas Eve. Yeah, we will see what happens over the next couple days. I mean, I would like to think at some point these players are going to be done selling, because these guys, I mentioned earlier in one of our webinars, typically these fund managers, they get squared away for year end. It's not like they wait. It's not like they're waiting until December 31st to square themselves up. They try to get it out of the way. That way everyone can take their vacation. They can enjoy their holiday time. Typically the last 2 weeks of the year is like nobody's even in the office and everyone's just like away with their families. So this is very unusual that we're actually seeing like huge ranges in the market and like VIX blowing out and all that stuff. Yeah, you can see the VIX put in a huge red candle, so that is good, going out on the lows. And then the VVIX as well, also a huge red candle. So team, we were going to have to see what the river brings into tomorrow. I think it's good that the futures are positive overnight. With that being said, hope you all have a great rest of your evening. I will see you all tomorrow.